Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum users. Normally, if we open a dataset while another is open, the open dataset will close and the new dataset will open, and you wouldn't be able to access the data from the closed dataset. In this tutorial, we will learn how to use frames to simultaneously store several datasets in memory. Data frames, also known as frames, let you keep several datasets in memory at once. Data in them can be linked to data in other frames and you can switch between them. I have two datasets, housing and person. Housing data have a single entry against each ID, while the person's data have many entries against each ID. Let's get to work on frames. Set the path and at the next line, open your data file person. The person dataset is loaded into the default frame when you first launch data, which is why the frame is named default. If you go to data and click frames manager, you can see the current frames. I only have one frame set as the default. It can be renamed to reflect the dataset it holds. After selecting rename, type FR person. Default has been replaced with FR person as the name. Close the window and you will see that this is the same command I have already typed to rename the frame in my do file. Please remember that a frame and data file are two different entities. When we say frame name, we call FR person, and we say data person, the name is used. If we want to open the housing data file without closing the person data file, then create a new frame. Type frame create, then give the frame name. In my case, the frame name is FR housing because we are going to open housing data. Run your command. To open the FR housing frame, type frame change and give the frame name FR housing. Now you have a new empty frame to use housing data. Open your data file housing. Convert variables names from upper to lowercase. Save your housing file and switch the frame from FR housing to FR person. It is now time to create a link between these two datasets. To establish link, we will use frlink command. Frlink creates and helps manage links between datasets in different frames. The person data file contains one or more observations for each ID, whereas the housing data file contains only one observation for each ID. For this matching, I will use a many to one relationship. Many for the person's data and one for the housing data. Currently, I am in the FR person frame with the person data. The other thing is required for matching is the ID from both datasets. In both datasets, the ID variables are province, district, village, EA, UR, building, and HU. So let's see the syntax. Start with frlink, then mention the join type, and our join type is M colon 1, many to 1, and then mention the ID's variable. Put comma after the ID variables and then give the frame name with the frame command. In our case, the frame name is FR housing. No need to sort the data. Now run your command. You may have noticed that a new variable called FR housing was created. This is known as the link variable, and it contains the information required for the link. Now that I have linked the datasets, I can access variable values or copy variables over from the FR housing frame. For example, I will use the FR value function to say that the value stored in the toilet variable from the housing data should be copied into a new variable in the current frame FR person. Click on the data, then select create or change data, then new variable. I will simply call toilet as a new variable because it will indicate housing data, and then pass the information frval, then give the frame name fr housing, put comma, and then give the variable name which you want use the data. And in our case, the variable name from the fr housing frame is h08 underscore toilet. Press OK to continue. Again, you will see that this is the same command I have already typed to copy the value from one frame to another frame. Now let's see how we can move variable from one frame to another. To move a variable from the FR housing frame to the FR person frame, use FR get instead of FR val. The syntax is begin with FR get, then specify the variable name which you want to move. In our case, the variable name is h10 underscore water. And finally, specify the frame name from which you want to move. The frame name is FR housing. And use the word from with the frame name instead of word frame. Run your command. The h10 underscore water variable is now available in the person data. So this is how Stata works with multiple datasets in memory. I only worked with 2 frames, but many frames can be created in memory at the same time.